Alright, hello and hi everyone. I'm going to explain about assessment for video critic. Yeah, this is based on the this is based on the guidelines which I have already shared with you. Alright, so the deadline of this assessment is going to be on the 31st of January, Tuesday. Yeah, and this assessment is going to be pre-recorded, meaning you're going to record the presentation, upload this to your YouTube channel, and then you only submit to me the link to your presentation video. Yeah, so what is video critic? So video critic is a 15-minute presentation. It's a group work, it's a pair work, so meaning you have to form a group of 2 people, and then each of you will present 3 critical incidents from the film or TV series or YouTube video that you have chosen. So each one of you will present for about 5 minutes per person, so 5 and 5 10 minutes, including 4 to 5 minute video excerpt. Alright, so I'm going to share with you, I'm going to explain to you what you're supposed to do before the presentation. So what you need to do is you need to select an English movie or TV series or YouTube video that came out from January or from 2017 onwards. Yeah, and this film or TV series, they must portray positive and negative workplace incidents. Yeah, the video excerpt, because you're going to extract workplace situations from this film, and remember there are 3 critical incidents that you're going to present or you're going to talk about, and these critical incidents basically equals 3 different scenes from the film. Yeah, and altogether they're going to be 6 scenes from the film that you're going to present for both of you. Yeah, and please make sure that the video excerpt or the film or the TV series is in English. Right? Alright, so this is the overview of the presentation. Alright, you will have you need to have introduction, body, and conclusion. So introduction, you're going to explain, give a brief synopsis of the movie, TV series or YouTube video together with the selected excerpts that you're going to present. Number 2 is when it comes to the body of presentation, you need to each one of you will present 3 critical incidents or 3 critical basically workplace situations that are related to positive or negative aspects of professionalism or communication. Yeah, first you have to identify, for each critical incident you have to identify first what is the positive and or what is the negative communication aspect you can see in this particular scene, and then you have to explain this particular critical incident based on the theories that you have learned. Right, so you can bring in external sources to explain, for example, how is this scene related to any of the theories that you have learned before, and then next is, if it is a negative communication aspect, how do you recommend ways to improve this to further develop the positive aspect. And then next, at the end of it, you tie back to the example that you're giving, make sure and meaning to say that you go back to the scene and then you basically to support the analysis. So that is basically what you're supposed to do for your part. And then once you're done with the 3 analysis, these are the things that you have to do for each of the critical incidents that you're presenting. So once you're done with your part, you pass the presentation next to your friend, for him or her to do his or her part. And then altogether everything is done, then you will conclude the presentation. Basically you only give, one person should summarize the whole presentation and just give a brief explanation or give your thoughts and highlight valuable lessons that you get from the whole presentation. Right? Alright, so what is a critical incident? Critical incident basically, or a workplace, a critical workplace situation, is actually a scene in the film where you find very significant or very important to talk about, because it relates or it involves issues of communication or issues of professionalism, whether it's positive or negative, how someone deals with his work, or how someone deals with other people at the workplace. and this usually relates to attitude, people's value or people's behavior. It might also include an incident involving conflict, hostility, criticism, motivation and improvement. Or critical incidents may also relate to issues of communication, as I mentioned, knowledge, culture, relationships, beliefs and emotions. For example, a scene where it's in the meeting room and the boss is very angry, towards his subordinate, he's humiliating him in front of everyone, and he even threatens, to punch him in the face, for example. So looking at this particular scene, what can you say about this, this behavior? Do you think that this is, uh, okay, for a boss to do something like that to his subordinate, or do you think that it is not okay? This is something that is not supposed to be tolerated. Uh, if yes, why? If no, why? Right? You give your own opinion based on this situation, and then you bring in theories. Something, any theory from a researcher that you have read before that you can use to support, your opinion or your argument. For example, you are saying that, oh, this is something, that is very unbecoming, for someone who uh, holds a higher authority, to do, towards his subordinate. Just because he is someone of authority doesn't mean that he can abuse his power, and intimidate, his subordinate like that. Because according to, then you bring in an external support. So, for example, you can say that, any theories that you have read before, for example, theories of effective communication or theories of politeness, you can basically slot in, and then and you can mention, because according to, this particular researcher, when he mentions about effective communication, he said that, and a superior, if he expects, in order for a communication to become successful, uh, both parties have to be diplomatic. They need to basically listen to each other. They even have to be polite to each other, if they, want things to change, or else, whatever that the boss is doing, and then you relate back to what the boss is doing, to everyone, because whatever that the boss is doing here, he is only bringing down people's mood and motivation. And as a result, this particular employee, will just, resign, and find a better company to work for, right? So you are also giving your opinion and support as well as recommendation. So what will be the best way, to basically what will be the best alternative, what will be the best way, that the boss should be doing, when it comes to, this negative situation. For example, if what can he do instead, so you're giving that, your opinion. So basically that is what you need to do, for each of the critical incident, right? And then once you are done with the other 2 and 3 incident, then you move on, you pass, to your friend, to your partner, for him or her to talk about his or her critical incident. All right, so this is the sample, sample content of video critique that you can, basically look at, and you can basically, refer to lah. Alright, so this is the sample body. This is what you can do. First, because you have 3 critical incidents, so what you can do is you show the video excerpt first. Because you have 3 critical incidents, so 3 video excerpts. So one video excerpt should go about 50 seconds in length. That should be, sufficient. You show the video first, and then only you explain or you present. And then once you done present with one critical incident, you go to the next one, you show the second video excerpt, and then it is followed by your presentation, and then it goes until the second person. So in this particular sample, you can see that you need to talk about what happens first in the excerpt, and then you analyze the incident, then you apply the theory, you give the effect, and then the recommendation. This is repeated for the other two critical incidents. All right, so and lastly, this is the sample conclusion, right? It's a very short one. Please remember, you only have 15 minutes to present. Don't go beyond 15 minutes. Try as much as you can, to go according to the stipulated, time length. Okay, so and a word of advice, because this is presentation, please make sure that you treat this as such, meaning you cannot be putting you can refer to notes, no problem, but not to the point where you are reading the whole thing from one line, from one until the end, because it will only show in the video, in the presentation video. I can always detect that, oh, if the because when you are reading, instead of presenting, you become, it will show in the in your body movement, in your facial expression, and also your eye contact. You will not be looking at the camera. You'll be reading the whole thing, and then there is no intonation. Everything is basically very rigid, and very fast. All right, so please take that also into consideration. All right, thank you very much. All right, bye bye.